a storm on the horizon, and my adrenaline's running wild, but I got my brother standing next to me. So praise the Lord and pass the ammo.
Good morning. Sitting here in my brother's car. So I'm his chauffeur because he's disabled and can't drive. He had a doctor's appointment, so I had to drive him to it. Wow, what a country we live in, right? Where we have courts convicting people of things that there's no proof that they ever did. But the big thing is this is, to me, this whole thing with Colorado and what they're doing, what they did, is it's a dangerous slope, man. I mean, so does this mean that you can just claim that your political opponents did something and then sue them in courts and get them thrown off a ballot or whatever? I mean, you got to think about this stuff, man. I mean, it's pretty scary, you know. And then what was that tweet Trump put out yesterday about, it's a Pandora's box and it should be closed? Somebody was saying, oh, that's a threat towards Biden. Well, I guess I don't read it that way. I just read it for what it said. It can be a two-way street, You keep messing with people. Are they trying to kick off the next civil war, next shooting revolution in this country? Because that's the thing I see, is I think Americans, that up a little bit, I think Americans are getting sick of what they're seeing. There's even, I believe, Americans that weren't necessarily Trump supporters because they didn't like him for one reason or another, kind of moving over to his side just because they see the bullshit and the hypocrisy that's going on. That's the sad part is we have a man sitting in the White House that, I mean, the evidence is growing every day that him and his family's doing everything that they accused Trump of and his family, and there's no evidence that they ever did anything. But how can we convict people with no evidence? It's, I guess one of the big things I see, so, with all this stuff going on, so what do we just got to do? Send the FBI, weaponize the FBI, which they've done, Secret Service, whatever. So every time somebody you don't like that's running for an office has some kind of political rally, that we send people in there to get people agitated. I mean, I remember here when I saw that people entered the Capitol on January 6th back in 20, I thought to myself, oh my God, what's wrong with you people? What are you thinking? But at the same time, we were all upset. We felt like, we got a raw deal. But at the same time, there's growing evidence that there was agitators in the crowd. I don't know that them people would have, without being agitated to the point, would have just left to their own devices, would have went into the Capitol and did what they did. And the worst part is now coming out where two gay staffers of a Democratic senator, listen, I don't care what you do in the confines of your own home, but, where's the morals? You go into a chamber and have your relations in there and film it and everything, and then act like you're upset when you get, no, we fired them. Well, there's people that was just walking around the Capitol that are sitting their asses in jail. And to me, like I said, I'm not a prude. I don't care what people do sexually as long as it's not thrown in my face. I mean, I don't run around talking about my sexual escapades, never have and never will. But, or let alone film it. I mean, I guess if you want to film something and keep it for your own private use, whatever, man, whatever floats your boat. But you put something online, now it's a matter of public record. And just like this video, somebody sees this and don't like it, I mean, whatever. But it's still a matter of public record. And it's the double standard for me, you know. I mean, we all know back in the 2020 and that there was people running around tearing up cities, burning down drugstores and this and that and the other things, and you know, oh, they're just upset. But you know, we threw people in jail for going for a stroll through basically what should be considered a public building, in my opinion. I mean, you know, they made a bigger deal of a guy putting his feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk as they have over these people having and filming gay sex. Like I said, I don't care. I mean, I don't care that people are gay. It's their business, not mine. But at the same time, it's the double standard. You know, where's the outrage? But I don't know, man. I mean, I would hate to think that it's going to come to this. It's going to come to a bloodshed and a shooting war. But there's more and more experts thinking that. I really would like to see our country peacefully settle their matters, you know. And you know, I've never shot anybody or anything like that, but part of my military career and then one of the jobs I did, I was an armed security guard. There's been twice in my life where I have looked down the barrel of a gun at another human being making a decision. Thank God I never had to. But where I had in my mind be ready to pull that trigger. And I don't think a lot of people understand the ramifications for that. You know, there's people out there talking about want to have a civil war. I don't know a lot of them understand it, what they're actually asking. But, you know, it's not a good thing. But I really feel like one political party in general in this country is really trying to push us to that. They can't keep pulling these stupid stunts. I mean, it's just not smart. It's not conducive. You know, I'm just really troubled by what I see going on in our country. I mean, most of us Americans just want to be left alone to do our thing. I want to be left alone to do my thing. I want to live on my property. I'm sick and tired of scraping to pay taxes, and you know, this economy's got us all fucked up. It's just a mess. But at the end of the day, I just want to be left alone. I want to be left alone in my retirement. I want to ride my motorcycles with my friends, my family. But you know, when all this dumb shit, all these stupid laws and legislation they're trying to push on us, and you know, we're letting it happen. It's part of the problem with America is we're all too apathetic. We don't, you know, we go, oh, that'll never happen to us. It won't happen here. Well, like I've said before, guess what? It's happening. It's coming. And we're allowing it. You know, it's time for people to get outraged. But I don't think violence is the answer to, you know, I hope it's not the answer. But I guess if it comes to that, it comes to that. I just hate to see that happen, you know. But people have to get convicted and have some beliefs and get out and vote. Because here's the thing. If us free-loving, more conservative-minded Americans, if more of us would actually exercise our powers to vote and things like that, it would make it to the point where I think it would be impossible for them to cheat enough to steal things away from us. But we're not. We need to elect officials to govern our country to our wishes, not for them to get rich. And that's the problem. We leave too many people in office way too long. They're out there getting rich off us because they get voted in time and time and time again just simply because their constituents know their name. But they have no idea what they stand for. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't look at voting records. They don't care. And, you know, it's like Reagan said, we're only one generation away from communism kind of thing. You know, who was it? Another famous person, maybe it was Lincoln, which I'm not a huge fan of Lincoln, but was it him that said if our country, one of them, I'd have to look it up, but there was one of our past people, presidents or whatever, that said that America would never be taken over by a foreign government, that we're going to destroy ourselves from within. And it's absolutely right, because that's what's happening. We're destroying ourselves from within. So that's just a few thoughts from Old Banana Motor Company here. Hope you all have a great day and Merry Christmas, and we'll probably talk to you sometime in the near future. Love you all. Peace.